For as long as old Scotland has loved our dear bard, we men have known that, well, we'd be mere lard, were it not for the fact that the lassies we date, when married, they turn us from average to great. As Burns himself knew in the heart of his hearts, all women are wonders, nuns, mothers, or tarts. The lassies of whom Robbie wrote were not frail. Next to them in the light, most men surely do pale. They were proud to descend from fine Celt womanhood, full of fight, had no fear to do all a man could. When the ancients of Rome came upon canny Celts, they were shocked at the hand these damsels were dealt. Why a woman could serve as high chief of the clan, fighting right alongside any mere mortal man. I can tell you these Romans were more than surprised by what's known with a wink as the friendship of the thighs. Celtic women, you see, enjoyed great sex and great liberty, while the children they bore were by him, he, or me. And a sharp Scottish lass could divorce her poor lad if he told all and sundry of the sex they had just had. Why the Romans were shocked, apoplectic, convulsive, when they learned she could leave, be not merely impulsive, if he was fat, snored at night, or was repulsive. But for Robbie, of course, these things did not apply. The women lined up, he did not even try. Of Nellie and Peggy and Mary he wrote, of Nancy and Anna and dear Jean he was besotted. With at least 13 bairns to his name did he claim, it's clear his impulses he never did tame. Yet above all, our Robbie, he always made clear, it was the strength of his women that he held dear. The question, of course, for the rest of us Scotsmen is just how to connect all those lovely sweet dots then. Just how do we find and keep the hot babes now? And how do we earn our fine stripes as proud knaves? How? Well, thank the Lord, with Scottish blood in our veins, we need not go far, nor take great pains. The answer will make those faint of heart just wilt. The solution, of course, lies in donning a kilt. Lads, I ask, is the kilt not the sexiest thing that you can wear to the hilt for a fine Highland fling? Those folks not in the know will just tear out their hair. Ladies, please answer me now, if only you dare. Is that tartan too tempting for you not to tear off your man noni to see if he's bare? And don't tell me no, 'cause I know for a fact when a man's in a kilt you just overreact. You simply must peek, there's no time to repent. A glimpse under there is a moment well spent. And when I don my kilt, I'm frequently asked by brazen bolden maidens that take me to task. Were I to ask them, each and every young lassie, I know well and good I'd be slapped on my assy. You know what I'm saying? It's what's under your skirt. Oh, you shameless wee hussies, you flighty-fay flirts. But I always do tell when I'm asked what's worn, I reply well and hearty and lift up my sporn. Nothing's worn, cheeky lady, on bad manners you border. Nothing's worn, see? It's all in quite fine working order. So, gentlemen, now that we know that we can snag 'em, just flip up the tartan to actually bag 'em. How do we find, then, that perfect mate, that woman who'll help us be totally great? Well, there are some quite basic traits that men can use to choose their mates. The first, and it has to be a must, she should have an ample bust, a place to rest a weary head when snuggled up at night in bed. But just how big should this bust be? Perhaps a C, maybe a D? That option has one snag, because as the years go by, they begin to sag. It is the ultimate depravity. You cannot defeat gravity. And the law applies to all, not just some, witnessed by my saggy bum. Perhaps I should look for sculptured abs, or shapely, rounded, well-formed calves. But then again, these two will go. As time goes by, you'll surely know. Making choices on physical traits is one of man's biggest mistakes. If you really want to see what the future will be, my advice above all other is make sure you meet the mother. We men are really simple fools to think we make the rules. The onus of the world's continuance would seem to rest on women's resilience, to carry small things to conclusion while still maintaining the illusion that man's the most important part, when really he's only needed at the start. The rest is left to Mum's direction, to give the burden her protection, and safely bring it to perfection. Is there no end to these awesome talents? Is there no equality in nature's balance? Apparently not. One must conclude, man can only himself delude. The truth be told, and here it must, the lassies are our sacred trust. What would we poor souls do if we the girls could not pursue, and finally catch them, or be caught, and tell them that, no matter what, we will love them to the end, even though they may drive us round the bend. They nurture us with care unflagging, and teach us by their constant nagging, to wash behind our dirty ears, and not to drink too many beers. And when we've grown up to be men, to choose a partner just like them. You know, the milestones in my life are numerous, but without the gift of outlook humorous, and a wife who laughs at my corniest joke, with times of challenge I could not cope. This seems to be a woman's feature, to be at her man's side whenever he needs her. To be supportive is the rule, when others panic, to be cool. I could say more, I've left things out, and later I'll be told, no doubt, that as a tribute to the lassies, the words of others far surpass. But in conclusion, I'm happy to say, no man is whole without his bride, without a runner by his side. A loving hand, an encouraging smile, someone to pass the mile on mile. Someone to keep him on the track, someone to stop him from falling back. A partner good and loving true, someone to make his blood run blue. A man needs comfort from all his strife, a loving lass to be his wife. These are the truths that I do tell. Please join me in a toast to the lassies.